The month of Elul on God's calendar is an appointed time. Is there not an appointed time? Now listen to me. God is God 24/7. Amen? But yet, there's scriptures that say, call on the Lord while he is near. In other words, on God's calendar, at his appointed time, there are times on God's appointments that all that God is, his power, his healing, his blessing, his finances, everything is closer to us than other times of the year. In the Old Testament, there are teachings where God says, in Israel there are cities of refuge. What that means is that if someone had an enemy coming after them and they made it to one of these cities of refuge, then by God's divine law, no one could touch them. They made it into the city of refuge. Every one of these scriptures that teach about this, when it says in Hebrew, a city of refuge, the first letters of that verse spell out Elul. So the month of Elul is a time of refuge. It's not a place of refuge, but a place in time that if we make it into this time of refuge, the enemy can't touch us. Do you understand? In 2 weeks, we begin the 40 days, 40 days. How many days was Jesus in the wilderness? 40. How many days did it rain with Noah's Ark? And we go on the number 40. In 2 weeks, we begin a time that I believe is one of the most important times in the history of the world. After those 40 days, we enter into what's called Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. On the first day of Yom Kippur is the last day of Jubilee. So Tiz and I were on vacation. We met people. People ran into us, recognized us. Everybody said, Pastor, what's going to happen in this next election? This is the craziest time in the history of America, much less the world. This is crazy. Who's going to be our next president? I have no idea. But I know who's on the throne. And he has waiting for us a city of refuge. Now listen to me. I told you after the blood moons, every time we have the 4 blood moons, 1 year from then, the world changes. That's coming up this fall. Our world is going to change. But for those of us who have eyes to see and ears to hear, it's not doom and gloom. Our best is yet to come. Can I have an amen?